From the station working for you, this is Good Morning Indiana, streaming now.
College students across the country and here at home getting ready to head home for Thanksgiving and Christmas breaks. Now at 4:30, the push to get exit COVID-19 tests so they can keep everyone safe back at home. President Trump's campaign has just launched a new set of lawsuits in an attempt to overturn the election results in Pennsylvania. This morning, the claims they're making against election officials. And Indiana Avenue in downtown Indianapolis, once home to a thriving Black business community. This morning, why some fear a proposed project could further erase the area's rich history. But first, here at 4:30, I want to thank you for joining our team here on this Tuesday morning. I'm Lauren Casey, and Todd Clausen is standing by with a check of our forecast. One more warm, beautiful day, Todd. We got to soak it up.
Yeah, you know, we set the record now 2 days in a row, Lauren.
Yeah.
Today potentially going to be the third day, because look at these temperatures already when you walk out the door. We're at 66 degrees in Indy, Terre Haute. Still holding on to 70 degrees right now. 64 in Bloomington, 66 up in the Muncie area. The normal high this time of year is only 56 degrees, so we're already 10 degrees above normal at what should be the coolest point of our day, or at least in the next couple hours. And these temperatures really not going to fall off much here this morning. No visibility issues here this morning, no patchy fog as we go throughout the day, though. There's definitely more in the way of cloud cover throughout the day today, so it's not going to be as bright as it has been the past couple days. There'll be some sunshine, but we're going to wait on this cold front that is off to our west. Look at all this rain and even snow. This is what it's going to head our way as we get into the evening hours tonight. The daytime hours will be dry with the exception of maybe a stray shower here or there this afternoon, but overall it's not a big concern for us until after sunset tonight. So keep that in mind if you have plans to be outdoors. 60s through the morning hours into the 70s, about 76 degrees today for your high temperature. We'll talk more about the timing of the rain for later today coming up in just a few minutes, Lauren.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. Let's take a look at traffic as you're heading out the door this morning. This is at I-465 and West 21st Street over on the west side of town. You can see traffic there is moving along up to speed, both northbound and southbound this morning. No delays to slow you down, and it looks like no major crashes or issues around the metro area at this early hour. We do begin this morning with the latest on the coronavirus pandemic and its continued impact on Hoosier lives. An additional 4,213 Hoosiers have tested positive for COVID-19. Since the pandemic began, there have been more than 214,000 positive coronavirus cases in our state. To date, more than 3 million coronavirus tests have been administered across Indiana. According to health officials, of those tests, there's a 7-day unique individual positivity rate of 18.6% and a cumulative rate of 11.8%. State health officials also report an additional 34 Hoosier deaths between November 1st and November 8th. To date, 4,418 Hoosiers have died with the virus. This month alone, 324 Hoosiers have died with COVID-19. More than 2,200 additional cases of COVID-19 are being reported now in Indiana schools. According to the state health officials, the majority of the cases occurred last week, but some date back to as far as September here. Of the additional cases, 1,572 are student cases, 319 are teachers, and 380 are staff cases. The highest percentage of cases are among students ages 15 to 19. It's important to note that participation in the state dashboard is not mandatory, and about 424 schools in the state have yet to report their COVID data to the state. The increasing number of coronavirus cases our state is causing several central Indiana schools to make some changes. Today, students at Beech Grove High School will begin e-learning until further notice. No changes to middle school or elementary schools were noted. All athletic practices and competitions and extracurricular activities for grades K through 12 have also been canceled until further notice. Officials say decisions will be reviewed at the end of this week. On Monday, 9 student cases were reported to the school district, and school officials say that contact tracing has been done and those who are affected are now in quarantine. Up in Fishers, while no changes to the school day have been announced as of yet, the athletics department says winter sports will be family only, that is. The restriction means only an athlete's immediate family members may attend home games. In a tweet, HSE Athletics says that the policy was implemented with 3 goals: to keep the athletes, coaches, and families safe, and to keep playing, and to allow families a chance to watch. Fishers Health Department will meet tonight to provide updated guidance on COVID-19 recommendations. In a news release last week, officials said that they were not recommending that schools and businesses close at this time. A school board meeting will be held tomorrow night. Well, soon college students around the country and state will leave campus to head home for the holidays. And students at Butler University, they're calling on their school officials to do more to help prevent a possible spike in cases on campus. They're asking for Butler to offer exit COVID-19 testing at the end of the semester. That's currently not required, but it is recommended for all students, faculty, and staff members.
I would have loved to have it from the school because it's just so much less work, and I know that like the tests, they'll contact me and it'll all be easy compared to trying to get Walgreens or somewhere else.
I have like family members who work in the hospital, and just I think it would be nice to know that you're definitely negative before you go home.
A spokesperson for Butler says they are aware of a student petition calling for the exit testing, and the school is increasing student testing through the end of the semester. New this morning, 2 more inmates at the Miami Correctional Facility have died with COVID-19. That's according to the Indiana Department of Correction. To date, 3 inmates have died at this facility. The total death toll from the coronavirus among inmates and staff members at Indiana prisons now stands at 33. 3 state prison staff members and 30 offenders statewide have died with confirmed or suspected cases of COVID-19. Currently, 555 inmates are in quarantine, while 282 are in isolation with COVID-19. At 4:36, an experimental treatment from Eli Lilly could soon be available to help people with mild to moderate COVID symptoms. The FDA has granted emergency use authorization for bamlanivimab. The Lilly says that the drug can be used in patients 12 and older who are high risk for progressing to severe COVID cases. This must be given at a hospital or other healthcare settings. The government already struck a $375 million deal with the Indianapolis-based company for 300,000 doses of the treatment. They plan to have 100,000 vials ready to ship within days. Patients will receive the antibody at no cost. The time right now is 4:36. Turning now to President Trump's ongoing push to challenge last week's election results. Monday, his campaign filed a lawsuit to stop the certification of election results out in Pennsylvania. Lawyers for the president argue that Democratic voters were treated more favorably than Republican voters. The lawsuit seeks to block several counties from counting mail-in ballots that were not witnessed by a Trump campaign representative when they were processed, as well as mail-in ballots with defects that were allowed to be fixed. In Pennsylvania, Democratic voters submitted almost 3 times as many ballots by mail as Republicans. The document filed contains no evidence of voter fraud there. Meanwhile, U.S. Attorney General Bill Barr sent a memo calling for investigations into the election misconduct. In it, he told federal prosecutors that they should look into what he calls voting irregularities even before states move to certify the results in the coming weeks. That caused a Justice Department official to quit in protest. Richard Plyger resigned Monday as the DOJ's top election crimes prosecutor. In an email, he told colleagues that Barr's memo did away with 40-year-old policy of not interfering with ballot fraud investigations before an election becomes certified. At 4:38, back here at home, a new development proposal for the historic Indiana Avenue district is facing some backlash. Indianapolis-based developer Buckingham Companies is looking to tear down the Walker Plaza building to make room for a 5-story mixed-use apartment and retail space. The new development would sit between the Walker Legacy Center and Indianapolis Urban League. Black residents established a vibrant social and commercial space along Indiana Avenue and surrounding areas by the 1890s. But the area looks much different today after gentrification and the expansion of IUPUI's campus. Alita Hodges' family used to live on Indiana Avenue. She says while she's not against new developments, she's hoping to see something that reflects the many years of Black history.
And just like when the Circle Center Mall first came, they kept the historic buildings on Meridian and Illinois Street. They kept those facades so that it looked like you were walking into a historic building, but here you were walking into a huge shopping mall. And the same thing could be done here.
Well, a virtual information session on the proposed apartment building will be held tonight, and we have more information, including how you can attend, on our website. Just go to WRTV.com. Child care providers and parents say a state contractor is putting them in a bind. Straight ahead, WRTV Investigates is getting answers about what's being done to help families. The future of Obamacare at stake once again as the Supreme Court takes up a case today. Coming up, the effect the court's ruling could have on millions of Americans. Todd.
And it's dry and mild as we kick off our Tuesday here across central Indiana. In fact, temperatures right now are in the mid-60s, and that's going to set us up for another potential record high temperature today. But it all comes crashing down. The rain and snow you see off to our west Well, that cold front is heading our way. We'll time out the precipitation here in central Indiana and talk about the rest of the week, which features much cool air coming up when Good Morning Indiana continues right here on WRTV.
Welcome back. WRTV Investigates is working to get answers for parents and child care providers who reached out for help. They're raising concerns about a state contractor not answering the phone and not processing vouchers. They say the state's CCDF eligibility contractor, Maximus, has been slow to recertify and process vouchers. That's federal money that helps low-income families afford child care. Many parents cannot afford to pay full price. Long hold times on the phone and online chats are also a problem. Tots R Us on the east side has already lost 15 families off their CCDF roster, costing that business about $5,000 a month.
And it's like a domino effect. If they can't pay out of pocket, they can't work. If they can't work, they can't feed their kids. So it's a domino effect, and it's very important. And I just feel like, I don't know if Maxima's staff need more training, more staff, so wherever the help is needed, we should get help fast, everybody.
Maximus told us, quote, the combination of the global pandemic and multiple open enrollments to address the child care needs of families post-COVID has resulted in longer than normal wait times. Maximus immediately implemented several improvements to process applications more quickly. We've increased staffing, established new procedures and processes, and introduced digital enhancements designed to help individuals access services in a timely manner, end quote. The Virginia-based company has been the state's eligibility contractor since October of last year. They can be paid up to $5.1 million a year, depending on the number of Indiana families they serve. FSSA is asking providers with concerns to reach out to their Office of Early Childhood and Out of School Learning. The number is 317-232-7112. You can also email carrie.gray@fssa.in.gov. Well, there's a new challenge to millions of Americans' health insurance. The Supreme Court will hear arguments today on the Affordable Care Act, also known as Obamacare. The law's challengers include 18 states led by Texas. They argue that since Congress got rid of the individual mandate, which requires nearly all Americans to get health insurance or pay a tax, the ACA is unconstitutional. The court upheld Obamacare in two previous cases, but now there's a conservative majority on the bench after President Trump appointed 3 justices. And that's causing some concern for some healthcare advocates.
If the ACA is repealed, millions of people across the country will lose access to their health care. But not only that, millions of people who have pre-existing conditions will lose protections, which were put in place through the ACA that allows them to not be discriminated against from insurance companies.
Currently, about 20 million people rely on the ACA for their health coverage. The Trump administration has not revealed a replacement for the law if it's overturned. At 4:45, the European Union will impose tariffs up to $4 billion worth of U.S. exports beginning today. The list includes increased taxes on exports like tobacco, rum, and vodka, handbags, motorcycle parts, and tractors. This comes after the World Trade Organization cleared the way last month for tariffs to be imposed on American goods. By the EU, a similar award was made last year in favor of the United States, which resulted in the White House imposing tariffs on European goods, including civil aircraft, Parmesan cheese, French wine, and Scotch and Irish whiskeys. At 4:46, we got to get a check of our forecast right now with Todd Clausen. Todd, I got out for a late evening walk yesterday. It was perfect out there.
It was great. I got the rest of my outdoor Christmas lights up yesterday. Didn't put them on yet, but I got them up, taking advantage of the warm temperatures. And yesterday we set a record, and today potentially going to set another one. The record for today is 75. My forecast today is 76. We would easily get to 75 or maybe even 80 degrees today if we had more in the way of sunshine. But I do think there'll be some cloud cover around throughout the day today. Despite that, though, even though it won't be maybe as bright as it has been the past few days, you're still dealing with temperatures in the 70s in November, and that is nothing that we can complain about whatsoever. In fact, look at this. As you walk out the door this morning, 66 degrees, a light wind out of the south at 10 miles per hour. hour. One thing you will notice today as the cold front starts to approach is the wind will start to pick up a bit across the area. So that is something we will have to contend with, but it's a minor trade-off for these temperatures where they are this morning, where they're going this afternoon. 70 degrees right now in Terre Haute, 63 in Greenfield, 66 is the current temperature over in Muncie. You see exactly where the cold front lies. Look at this. It's 65 in Peoria, Illinois, only 36 in Des Moines, 17 in Bismarck. We won't get into the 20s and the teens, but our low temperatures will return to the 30s as we go forward in this forecast the next couple days as that cold front moves through later on tonight. But here are those temperatures for the day today. We're in the 60s throughout the morning hours, easily into the mid 70s here later on this afternoon, with skies that'll be mostly cloudy. There'll be some sun mixed in, so there will be some bright moments throughout the day today, but overall the sun is going to be filtered behind the clouds for a good chunk of the day as all this precipitation starts to head our way. Now the good news for us though is our temperatures will be obviously well above freezing, and as far as rain goes, there could be a stray shower this afternoon here or there. But I really don't think you have to plan on any rain if you have outdoor activities until after sunset tonight. In fact, it may be well after sunset. Here we are, 8:30, some spotty showers. Once we get closer to the midnight hour and the front actually starts to push through, look how the showers and storms blossom across the area. And there could be some thunderstorms late this evening as the front goes through with some gusty winds. Not expecting any widespread severe weather. And then once the front is fully through, we have a much cooler weather pattern for the rest of the week. So a little stormy here this evening, especially after 9 p.m. You see those icons get a little bit larger. And then as we head into the day tomorrow, we're looking at temperatures that'll only be in the 50s. Yes, it's a lot cooler, but it's seasonable across the area. It's not like we're going from way above normal to way below normal here. And then it's mainly dry for the rest of the week. Sunday's the next chance of rain with a high of 62. Lauren.
Let's get a look at traffic right now as you're heading out on the roads. This is I-465, a live look here near Kentucky Avenue where you can see traffic is pretty quiet. Everything's traveling up to speed, both eastbound and westbound there. No delays to slow you down, so let's take you across town now, crossing Indianapolis, heading all the way up to I-69 near Campus Parkway. You can see traffic here is moving along up to speed. The interstate down below, very quiet at this early hour. We'll continue to keep a close eye on your roads throughout the morning and keep you updated on any delays. At 4:49, the college basketball season will be starting soon, but down in Bloomington, the buzz is all around the IU football program. The Hoosiers have won their first 3 games, and for the first time, they can call themselves a top 10 team. Indiana is ranked number 10 in this week's Associated Press's top 25. It's the highest mark ever for IU football. Saturday saw the Hoosiers defeat Michigan 38-21. That ended a 24-game losing streak to the Wolverines. Here's IU's head coach Tom Allen talking about the growth of his team so far.
But man, just to be able to do that, in that setting, in that type of game, was an awesome feeling. It was a great testament to where our program is headed, and it's the weight room, it's the mentality, it's the toughness, it's the grit, it's the fight, and it's the finish. And that to me is what you have to win games like that have eluded us for so many years.
IU goes on to Michigan State for their next game. You can watch it right here on WRTV Saturday at noon. The Hoosiers trying to go 4-0 in the Big Ten for the first time ever. We'll also have the Notre Dame game on Saturday. That's at 3:30. The Fighting Irish are number 2 in the poll after beating top-ranked Clemson. It's a short week for the Colts after Sunday's loss to the Ravens. They're heading to Nashville to take on the Titans on Thursday night. The team announcing today that the time for the next home game on November 22nd against the Packers has been moved from 1 o'clock to 4:25 p.m. A limited number of tickets are still available. The Colts are allowing up to 12,500 fans to be in attendance at Lucas Oil Stadium. Election day is over, so what are you supposed to do with those political signs out in your yard? We'll all know at 5 o'clock. Our own Kelsey Anderson tells us why recycling them is actually a bad idea. It's 4:51. We'll be right back. Welcome back. The time right now is 4:55 here on our Tuesday. Here's a live look in the downtown area as you're rounding the curve here, heading to the north split. This is I-65, a view near St. Clair Street, where traffic is traveling up to speed this morning. No delays to slow you down. Well, WRTV's annual toy drive kicks off on Saturday at the Christmas Nights of Lights display. The drive-through light show is at the Indiana State Fairgrounds. This event features a 2-mile car ride through more than 1 million LED lights synchronized to Christmas music. Decorations include larger-than-life trees, glowing snowflakes, dancing candy canes, and tunnels of lights. The cost is $7 per person, and children under the age of 3 are free. There's also deals for carloads. $1 for every ticket sold on Saturday will go to the WRTV Toy Drive. We have everything you need to know about how to get tickets and how to donate online. Just visit WRTV.com. And Todd, it gets dark out awfully early these days, so you won't even have to go that late after the Nights of Lights. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, it was sunset now, just around 5:30 in the evening hours. Today, it's another warm day. The daytime hours today should be mainly dry. Once we get past sunset, a spot shower is possible, but it's really not till after 9 o'clock that we bring in some showers and thunderstorms. But the wind does pick up here throughout the day today with a high of 76 degrees. Tomorrow, it's back to reality. We're back into the mid-50s, but it'll be dry with partly cloudy skies, and then we stay in the 50s all the way into the weekend. But notice those low temperatures, they dip down into the 30s as well. The time now is 4:57. You're watching Good Morning Indiana right here on WRTV. Stay with us. We're back in just a couple minutes.